For those of you with a keen awareness of history, Liberty Dispatch began in part as a response to the tyranny and COVID madness coming from all levels of civil government in Canada. And over the years, we've brought you the unvarnished truth about all things COVID. We were right about the masks, the mandates, the devastating consequences of COVID era policies, and of course, the deadly nature of the experimental COVID gene therapy injection. It's been a while since we had a COVID extravaganza episode on the Dispatch, and with my final episode just weeks away, plus the stories that I've been building up for a few weeks now, get ready for my last ever COVID Forever episode. Advent begins this Sunday, so here's some lyrics from one of my favorite Christmas hymns, Hark the Herald Angels Sing. Hail the heaven-born Prince of Peace, hail the Son of Righteousness. Light and life to all he brings, risen with healing in his wings. Mild he lays his glory by, born that man no more may die. Born to raise the sons of earth, born to give them second birth. Hark the herald angels sing, glory to the newborn King. It's November 28th. I'm Andrew DeBartolo. That's Matt Hallick. This is Liberty Dispatch.
Hey, and welcome back to Liberty Dispatch, friends. It's great that you have joined us once again on the program where we bring you conservative Canadian news and analysis from an unapologetically Christian perspective. Make sure that if you like what we do, that you can do your part to get it out to more people by liking, subscribing, rating, reviewing, interacting with our stuff wherever you get it from. Leave a comment. Tell us of your craziest COVID story. Tell us about your favorite Advent song or what you look forward most to on Christmas. Anything like that, please leave it down in the comments. Help us get our content out to more people. And if you want all our unvarnished content, all our extended episodes, and all the exciting, Andrew, full-length episodes of the many wonderful, I think we said 7 interviews that we have for our 350th episode coming up, you want to go over there and you want to subscribe, ldcanada.substack.com. You won't regret it. It's good, and you help support us.
It's the only way that you're going to get the full version or the full interviews of Dr. Peter McCullough, Dr. Robert Malone, Pastor Doug Wilson, Dr. Joe Boot, John Carpe from the JCCF, Pastor Aaron Rock, Pastor Alex Klusterman.
That's a spicy episode.
Banana. If you want to get those full interviews, you have to become a paid subscriber over at ldcanada.substack.com. And in the next couple of weeks, we would love for you to send via your email, kind of reach out to us. Let us know maybe some of your favorite moments in the history of the Dispatch in the last 350 episodes, spanning some 3 to 4 years. It's been pretty wild. So I'm ready for Christmas. You can see over that wide shot, the tree is set up. The Melissa and Doug nativity scene is in effect, and we've been playing Christmas music.
Looking good, man. Looking good.
We're ready to go. I'm working on. I'm trying to whiten out the beard a little bit. It's getting there. We'll get there. We'll get that Santa beard going.
Yeah, love it. Love it. That's awesome. That's super, super duper. I'm excited for Christmas. I'm excited for Advent. All the excitement. So I just got in the mail, Andrew, a custom-made collared shirt for the purple Advent season. So I'm pretty stoked about that. So I'll be festive in my royal purple as we wait and celebrate the coming King.
Liturgically festive.
Yes,
that's the technical term.
That's what we're all about at our church. We're trying to redeem the time by telling time according to the traditional Christian calendar. So we believe very much in it, and a lot of people have really benefited from it. So anyways, it's a wonderful season, lots going on, and we're excited to be on the show again, talking about kind of the gong show of Canadian politics, but
Well,
it's still good.
speaking of things that will benefit people, you can navigate volatile stock markets with confidence because
It's
at
true.
Rocklinc, they know discipline beats distraction every time. So they are introducing the Rocklinc Principled Equity Fund, an actively managed ETF targeting undervalued, resilient businesses built to thrive amid uncertainty. No minimum investment required, accessible via any platform linked to the Toronto Stock Exchange. Safeguard your capital, minimize risk, and achieve values aligned long term growth. You can learn more about the Rocklinc Principled Equity ETF today at www.rocklinc.com or email them info@rocklinc.com. That's link with a C, Rocklinc, info@rocklinc.com. Check out the Rocklinc Principled Equity ETF today. COVID forever. Again, still years later.
Still
Here we are.
always never ending. Hey
Still,
Andrew, have you heard this cool new song?
COVID-19! COVID-19!
Now I think that's that might be a new Christmas hit.
there's layers of memories there.
Yes.
There's the never ending story memories
Yeah.
where if only Bastion should have just said her name sooner.
Oh.
Sooner. Oh, Atreyu. Oh, Atreyu.
I must.
Name again? What was the horse's name again? Why am I drawing a blank here?
Oh, I don't know, man. I'm the worst for movie knowledge.
No, hold on. No, it's Atreyu is like the boy, the Neverland boy, and
Yeah,
then
and also your
Falco-
favorite like 2000s post-hardcore
Metal band,
like
yeah.
screamo band.
Yeah. What was the horse?
Their
name? Why am I
drummer
drawing a blank?
is their singer. What? It's crazy.
Why am I drawing a blank? What's that horse's name? Now I'm very upset by this. Now I'm so sad I can't remember the horse's name. I should remember the horse's name.
I'll ask Chat GPT or something.
Let me know. We got to know. I'm not moving on until we figure out this horse name. Why am I drawing a blank? I should know this. I should know this. Man. This is hurting my brain.
Artax. Artax?
You know what? I was thinking, for some reason, Farfax. No, but I think that's one of the horses in Lord of the Rings.
Oh.
That's
Artax.
Why. Artax. That's right.
There you go,
He's
man.
drowning. Artax. Oh, Atreyu. Okay, so
this is how we've made it 350 episodes with content like this. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, Atreyu. Okay, so Never Ending Story. Go watch it. Don't show it to your kids until they're older. It's totally weird, messed up, LSD, 80s, crazy, but also wonderful. Now, Matt,
Andrew.
speaking of things that are not as wonderful as the Never Ending Story, have you heard the news? The new, very, very scary COVID-linked syndrome that has everything to do, of course, with the deadly virus and nothing to do with the destructive and weakening nature of the COVID injections. Have you heard about this new syndrome?
No, I haven't, Andrew. But you got
here's-
news for us.
Here's what you should know. You should be very, very afraid,
Oh.
as I clearly am.
You said COVID, and I immediately, flashbacks,
Yeah.
cold sweats.
I just threw my freedoms in the mail to Doug Ford. I just put
Yeah,
my freedoms in the
just
mail, sent them to
gone.
Doug Ford. Please.
Immediately handcuffs. Just yeah, yeah, yeah.
So here's the story. Okay. Quote: For doctors and researchers, a new hidden aftershock is emerging. Beyond the exhaustion of long COVID, a rare and aggressive condition known as MIPC has appeared. It's a frightening twist in how our bodies react to the virus, a situation where the immune system, trying to protect us, gets confused and turns into our biggest threat. MIPC is a newly identified autoimmune syndrome linked to SARS CoV 2 infection. Unlike long COVID, which tends to involve lingering fatigue, cognitive issues, and autoimmune symptoms, MIPC presents as an acute, fast moving, and potentially fatal condition. The core problem isn't residual viral symptoms, it's an immune system that shifts into a destructive mode after infection. Now,
That doesn't sound good.
that doesn't sound good at all. Now, I know we're not virologists. I
Never
understand that.
claimed to be.
But what else could have possibly caused the emergence of dangerous autoimmune disorders? I wonder what thing people were saying, 4
Hmm.
years ago, if we introduce this particular thing with this particular kind of technology, one of the
Hmm.
consequences could be rather serious autoimmune disorders. I wonder, but because it's definitely just COVID and only COVID that would
Yeah.
cause this. Only that.
But Andrew, we maybe it may like all I can think of is we did kind of force basically everybody in our society to get experimental gene therapies, though.
Right. We did put poison in. This is true. We did poison
Do you think
95% of our population. That's
that
true.
couldn't be it, though? That's probably not it, though.
Yeah. Probably not 100% certainly is it. That's kind of what I'm going with, okay? That's kind of what I'm going with. So, the fear propaganda piece continues. Quote, what makes MIPC especially concerning is that it often develops in individuals who had mild or moderate COVID 19. Symptoms such as sudden shortness of breath, new rashes on the hands, or rapid declines in lung function can appear weeks after the initial infection. This delayed pattern increases the risk of mislabeling symptoms as long COVID or post viral fatigue, which can postpone the aggressive treatment MIPC requires. In many patients, this autoimmune process unfolds rapidly, which separates MIPC from typical post viral syndrome. While long COVID symptoms tend to fluctuate and evolve slowly, MIPC produces clear signs of lung decline, such as sudden breathlessness and new rashes on the hands. Without fast recognition and treatment, the ongoing immune attack can cause damage that no therapy can reverse. Close quote.
Wow.
Again, I thought the jab was supposed to keep you safe, but it's making it worse. It also appears to me that, again, I'm not an epidemiologist, but my
No.
guess would be the majority of the people that will be suffering from MIPC will be the boosted aplenty, or let
Mm.
me flip this another way. People who opted not to engage in a, a trial, a phase 2 trial in our country probably won't be getting MIPC. But apparently, according to this very new scary disorder, we should probably go get our 10th booster. I think that's kind of, we should
Well,
follow in the
that's what I was
footsteps
thinking, Andrew. When
of
you were
Doctor.
saying that,
Yeah,
I was
Doctor Mass.
thinking.
Yeah, we need to follow Doctor Mass formation psychosis,
Hmm.
and we need to go get our 10th booster just to make
and
sure that we don't get this very very scary thing. That's
and then our
probably
follow up hysterectomy, um, because obviously
Because
COVID.
men can have a uterus too, Matt.
Yes,
We're
absolutely.
doing the science here. We're doing the science here.
Yeah, I think Neely Kaplan Mirth, she would be pretty impressed with us. We've come a long way. That's a big admission. Better than a booster, though, Andrew. Scientists are developing a new all-in-one super COVID injection.
Oh,
I'm not kidding. This is our Andrew. Are you listening? This is our savior.
Yeah, that is going to save us. That's what we've been waiting for.
Yeah,
an all-in-one. We've been waiting for the Walmart of COVID shots. One-stop shot. Everything you need in one spot.
Yeah,
get that in my arm, please.
Yeah, and we've never heard that before, of course. But this is from Yahoo. Stockpiling vaccines that protect against multiple different coronaviruses could reduce deaths and the need for lockdowns during. I mean, they're being very transparent, Andrew. They're being transparent. During future global pandemics. What do you have planned for us? According to a new study, researchers at the Imperial College London, that sketchy college that did terrible modeling during COVID, that's great. They modeled the impact of an all-in-one jab to understand if those types of jabs were worth developing. Such jabs would not be as efficacious as shots for specific coronaviruses like MERS or SARS, for example, but could be made in advance of an outbreak and stockpiled. Quote, COVID-19 showed us the catastrophic cost of facing a deadly new virus without a vaccine. Broadly protective coronavirus vaccines could change the game, said this ghoul, Dr. Richard Hatchett. He's the CEO of Coalition of Epidemic Preparedness Innovation, CEPI. Yikes. If the jab had been available to a large proportion of the population during the pandemic, up to 65% of deaths could have been averted in 2020 alone, equivalent to roughly 1.1 million lives. Before COVID-specific vaccines were ready to be deployed, the researchers found. Now, Andrew, I don't know how they found that, because even when they were making targeted vaccines for the actual viruses that they knew about, they were still ineffective, and they still had to create different boosters for different strains, and they were behind in the evolution of the virus basically throughout the whole thing. So
I wonder if there was a misprint in the article. I wonder if it was supposed to read, if these jabs had been made available to a large proportion of the population during the pandemic, we could have caused up to 65% more deaths than we actually did.
Yeah,
roughly another 1 million people. I think that's how it's supposed to read. I mean, again, I'm neither a virologist nor an epidemiologist nor an editor, but I think that's probably what they meant to say.
Yeah,
that would be the most accurate.
Do you just love how they throw out just like totally random numbers that obviously are totally not meaningful and not scientific?
Their modeling totally works, right? I mean,
yeah, we saw that throughout.
Works.
yeah, we saw that throughout, especially with like their first model of the COVID-19 pandemic that led to like a bunch of the lockdowns in the college in London.
5% mortality rate. Oh, you mean 0.25%? Oh, you mean like 0.1%? Oh yeah.
What is that factor? I'm not good at that math.
That's exactly like point. That's exactly like 5%. 5% is exactly like 0.1%. Oh wait a minute, 0.1% is like a really bad flu season. Pretty much. Yep.
Anyways, Andrew, while the modeling study's results are positive, of this made up vaccine that doesn't exist,
positively deadly.
I mean, people pay these. I'm assuming people pay these people a lot of money to do models that are clearly asinine. Anyways, apparently, according to this Yahoo report, the modeling results are positive. All-in-one coronavirus vaccines do not yet exist for human use. They are still in very early stages of development. Well, you can be sure that we're going to get an opportunity to test them coming up, and have not yet progressed through to human clinical trials.
Yeah, that'll be when they roll it out to the general public. That'll be the human clinical trials.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, if you want to buy groceries, come get this.
Yep. And I mean, literally, they were actually doing that in Quebec. So I wouldn't be surprised if that happened again. You got to test these out.
We are coming up to the 6th anniversary of 14 days to flatten the curve. Which means we are coming up on the 5th anniversary of the rollout of the COVID shots. And we still, so if anyone's wondering, every story that we're covering in our episode today, were all published within the last month. So I'm not reaching back into the recesses of 2024 and pulling up stuff that we forgot to cover. Every single one of these stories came out this last month. I don't know if they're ever going to let this go. Are they ever going to let? I don't know if they're ever going to let this go. But they certainly have no. Like, at what point does COVID just become the cold? Like that. If that's what it was known as before 2020. Oh, you got a bad cold.
Yeah.
But now it's just always so
operational preparation of the environment, Andrew. That's what we're dealing with.
Long COVID lasts 6 years. It's a very long time. Wow, that is super long COVID.
Yeah. Yep.
Inflation through the roof.
Food costs went up 10.6% in February.
Censorship of dissident voices, freezing of bank accounts.
Justin Trudeau invoking emergency powers against the truckers. Banks can now freeze their personal accounts, the accounts of anyone linked to the Freedom Convoy.
Digital surveillance and communism spreading.
What do we want?
Basic income!
With the basic income, I felt a sense of security because I didn't have to worry about not going hungry, and I didn't have to worry about being kicked out of my apartment.
The government is on the verge of bankruptcy, and they're coming for your money.
Canada's federal debt increasing in real time, now surpassing $1.2 trillion. This debt is draining taxpayer dollars, with interest alone costing $54 billion this year.
It's time to break free and start saving in money they can't take from you. Since 2013, the folks at Bull Bitcoin have one mission: destroy central banking. Bull Bitcoin is the most trusted Bitcoin company in Canada. They empower you to buy, sell, and pay bills with Bitcoin. They are 100% non-custodial, which means that you always maintain full control over your Bitcoin, allowing you to reclaim your financial sovereignty and secure your wealth for the future. Their customer support will assist you throughout the whole process, helping you get your hands on the hardest money ever created. Escape their financial gulag, click on the link below, and start buying Bitcoin today. Yep. So instead of that status pravda that we just exposed, how about we actually, bring a little bit of truth for a change? Spoiler alert. Told you so. Just a spoiler alert. Told you so.
Andrew, I think that's why we keep bringing up these COVID stories, just to remind people of, how much we called it.
You think it'd be worthwhile for me to get "I told you so" tattooed on my arm and just be like, "Hey,
yeah, check it out."
With a picture of Michael Caine as Alfred. My cocaine, Master Bruce. I did bloody tell you so. Okay. That would be good.
Anyways.
So now that the majority of Americans believe COVID-19 vaccines caused mass deaths, the vaccine cartel has pivoted. No longer able to deny harms, they resort to a new defense: the fraudulent claim that COVID shots saved millions of lives. This talking point is designed to override evidence and silence accountability, but it collapses under scrutiny. A new peer-reviewed paper shows in detail why this claim is scientifically baseless and manufactured through deception. The heart of the million saved claim lies in computer models, not observed evidence.
Wait, didn't we? Didn't
Right.
we just
Yep.
that we
Yep.
we just saw that and from the
the never. Yeah, that's right.
okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So,
Illuminate us.
yeah, across all of them, the problems were the same. Assumptions stacked on assumptions, fixed infection fatality rates, no waning, vaccine stop spread, counterfactual fantasy, what would have happened without vaccines, projected with inflated baselines. Harms were excluded. No deaths or adverse events from vaccination were ever considered. The authors conclude these million saved numbers are political constructs, simulations engineered to create the illusion of benefit. Once it was undeniable that vaccines didn't stop infection, the cartel shifted. Okay, but they still prevented millions of deaths from severe illness. This is where the paper drills down into the evidence. First, you have randomized trials. Pfizer and Moderna RCTs were not powered to show mortality benefit. 6-month Pfizer data showed more deaths in the vaccine arm, 15 versus 14. There was no proof of deaths prevented. You also have observational studies. Israeli NEJM studies and similar reports were methodologically flawed. The paper's conditional probability analysis showed that the apparent reduction in severe outcomes was just an artifact of short-lived infection prevention, not independent protection against death. The authors show clearly there is no empirical evidence that vaccines prevented deaths, close quote. And I might add, significant empirical evidence that we have covered numerous times that the jabs actually increased significantly so deaths. Almost certainly the dramatic surge in deaths from unknown causes. Also, the surge in turbo cancers, in cancers that were previously in remission coming back with a vengeance. The exponentially and unexplainably high increase in myocarditis and pericarditis, the heart inflammation, and the sudden death of countless young and very athletic people. All of these things compile to show that the jabs almost certainly caused
And
infinitely more deaths than they saved.
yeah, and Deanna McLeod, obviously in some of the episodes she did with Mike, was just showing how the devastating impacts that it had on ladies and their reproductive system. Like it's a massacre. It's awful. It's been brutal for people. So I'm thankful for this study because it really goes, because it basically does scientific presuppositional apologetics on the methodology used by the modeling. We know that this type of modeling is garbage. It's garbage in, it's garbage out. There's so many random assumptions that go into these these models that are not transparently divulged. And I'm so sick of articles like the last one we covered, where these supposed scientists and experts just blatantly say stuff that is based on unscientific, random conjecture. That's guessing. Conjecture is a fancy way of saying guessing. And that's what these models are. They're fancy guesses. But yet the mainstream media launders fancy guessing, conjecture through modeling into the narrative concerning COVID in order to actually avoid the actual subject, which is not only did they not save lives, not millions, they actually were dangerous, right? And they put up this wall of lies in order to make it hard for you to get to the truth, right? It's essentially a hedge, a thick, bramble bushes that you have to cut down, slice apart, get through before you can actually get to the truth. And that's what this operational preparation of the environment is. Not only are they obfuscating the actual truth, but they are preparing you through these false models, through these lies. They're preparing you to accept the next round of experimental gene therapies because they're trying to, show something and assert something that is like blatantly untrue. It's crazy. But let's continue down the line of like what we know is truth, what we actually have confirmed. So not just fancy guesses. This is facts. So here's some more truth confirmed by the CDC. So an investigation of the US's vaccine adverse event reporting system found extremely high reactions and deaths. Extremely high numbers of adverse reactions and deaths have been reported against specific lot numbers of COVID-19 vaccines numerous times, meaning deadly batches of the experimental injections have now been identified. The investigation also led to the discovery that 130 different lot numbers of Pfizer COVID-19 vaccine, so-called, distributed to more than 13 states, harmed on average 630 times more people, hospitalized on average 109 times more people, and killed on average 22 times more people than the 4,289 different number of Pfizer vaccines distributed to 12 states or less. However, the most shocking finding, if you can believe it, of the investigation was that 100% of COVID-19 vaccine deaths reported to VAERS with identified lot numbers had been caused by just 5% of the batches produced. But the deeply troubling findings don't end there, because we decided to conduct further analysis of the VAERS data on the COVID-19 vaccines, and we've discovered that the majority of the deadliest batches were clearly sent to Republican-controlled red states across the USA. The top 8 states with the highest vaccination death rate are all Republican-controlled red states. I suppose that's just a coincidence, Andrew. You think?
Yeah, it's just, just a happy coincidence.
Oh, geez. And 19 of the top 24 states with the highest vaccination death rate are, again, Republican-controlled red states. Kentucky, Arkansas, West Virginia, Montana, Alaska, North Dakota, Wyoming, and Tennessee all top the list, with Florida placing 20th in the list of 51 states. Unbelievable stuff. This investigation of VAERS data reveals several concerning findings which warrant further investigation, but it also leads to questions of why authorities within the USA, which are supposed to monitor the safety of COVID-19 vaccines, have not discovered this themselves. Why is it that certain batches of the vaccine have proven to be more harmful than others? Why is it that certain batches of COVID-19 have proven to be deadlier than others? Why were the majority of the most harmful deadly COVID vaccines distributed to Republican states across the USA? These are extremely, to put it lightly, Andrew, urgent questions that require urgent answers that had our authorities not just been trying to pull the wool over our eyes, trying to be lying to us, trying to sell us on the efficacy and the safety of the vaccine, rather than actually studying the numbers and keeping track of these side effects, if they had been doing their job rather than trying to be salespeople for big pharma, they might have been able to identify some of these rotten batches and save many people's lives. But that maybe wasn't the point. And that's the point that's scary to think about.
Yep.
Unreal, man. Unreal. It's hard to imagine how we've got to where we are. Never ending COVID.
That's the theme song.
Now is not the time to surrender or retreat. Now is the time to build. It's not time to simply complain. It's time to get to work. It's time for people who share the values that built this nation to be open about them, to celebrate them, and to defend them. Our goal at Resistance Coffee has always been bigger than coffee. We want to fill the cup of every patriot in this land. We want to fuel a resistance of ordinary Canadians with extraordinary values. We want to encourage and inspire people who feel like they've lost their home to take it back. Now is the time to build, fuel up, and let's go.
Get you some of that coffee. That looks good. Look at that shirt. Great logo, great coffee, good people, fun times.
We could chat with Alex in a couple weeks when we have him on the show for,
I'm
for
excited.
number 350.
I'm excited, man. I'm excited. Andrew, our final story. Lead us into I'm fired up. That got me ready to build.
Is your hand okay though? Did you break it or sprain it?
Dude, I'm tough, man. I'm tough. I'm tough. You have no idea.
Well,
okay.
Correct.
Okay.
No idea. So, I mean, the people might be thinking, okay, but why still? Like, okay, but these stories, do we really have to cover them? Like, why keep it's years now? It's over a half a decade since everything went down. Why? And one of the reasons why that we have to keep coming back to these stories, we have to, is that we can never forget what they did. We can't.
Amen.
They turned us into second-class citizens. They allowed people to die alone, right? Speaking of our friend Alex, his dad had to die alone in long-term care. Their decisions ruined our economy, harmed our lives, all in the name of lies and amassing more money and more power for themselves. So we can never forget what they did to us. We can never just sweep it under the rug and pretend like it wasn't what it was, because it was a society-altering moment, and we cannot forget what they did. So this next story is from LifeSite News. Quote, COVID lockdowns have been linked to a surge in babies and toddlers suffering from speech and other developmental issues. Sorry, this is not from LifeSite News. This is from the Telegraph. So when the Telegraph covers it, you can't hide it in darkness anymore. Okay, so COVID lockdowns have been linked to a surge in babies and toddlers suffering from speech and other developmental issues, the largest study to date has found. Experts from the University of Edinburgh examined at the impact of successive lockdowns and social distancing measures on more than 250,000 babies and toddlers. They found that the number of children with at least one developmental issue increased by up to 6.6% between March 2020 and August 2021, the period in which the first lockdown began and ended. Around 1 in 10 children in the UK has a developmental concern, which can include issues regarding their behavior, emotional regulation, social skills, or movement. The report said that the rise could be linked to reduced social interaction and reduced attendance at early learning and childcare settings during the period, which play an important role in children's development. Multiple studies have since revealed the lasting impact of lockdowns on children, and in particular, those of school age who had their education disrupted. The latest research explored the scale of damage to the development of those yet to start school, with 18 months of restrictions coinciding with an increase of developmental issues, including speech and communication, behavior, and problem solving. Close quote. They did this. They didn't do this to my kids, because I would never put my kids in state-funded Marxist propaganda indoctrination centers, nor would I outsource childcare by putting them in daycare, and nor would I perpetually cover their faces. So they did this to my kids, but they did this to many, many, many children.
Yeah, which just leads one to think, like, why would you trust these people with your kids? But Andrew, they didn't just ruin lives, okay? Their policies and mandates also took lives. And we've talked about this, but this is from the Toronto Sun. So just like, if the Telegraph's talking about it, if the Sun's going to be this bold and talk about it, we should maybe listen up. Trump health officials plan to link coronavirus vaccines to the deaths of 25 children as they consider limiting which Americans should get the shots, according to 4 people familiar with the situation who spoke on the condition of anonymity to describe confidential information. That's a lot more deaths than anybody actually died of that age bracket of COVID. And that's also...
Yeah, about 25 more, to be precise.
Yeah. And that's also why these vaccines were extremely harmful, because the deadliness of the virus was not what it was said to be, and it was really only for those who, had health conditions, but yet we mass vaccinated the healthy, and this is what it's led to. Anyways, Trump health officials plan to include the pediatric deaths claim in a presentation next week to an influential panel of advisors to the CDC that is considering new coronavirus vaccine recommendations which affect access to the shots and whether they're free. The plan has alarmed some career scientists who say coronavirus vaccines have been extensively studied, including in children, and that dangers of the virus itself are being underplayed. CDC staff in June presented data to the same vaccine committee showing that at least 25 children died who had COVID-associated hospitalizations since July 2023, and that number was likely an undercount. So it's conservative. Of the 16 old enough for vaccination, none was up to date on vaccines. The pediatric deaths presentation to the CDC's Advisory Committee on Immunization Practices, the ACIP, is not final, according to the one person familiar with the matter who spoke on the condition of anonymity to describe ongoing policy discussions. The full methodology for the analysis was not immediately clear. So this is a person, Andrew, who sounds like they're like, oh, I don't like that the CDC's noticing all this stuff, with old RFK in there, and he's, questioning the efficacy of vaccines, and, he's talking about the stuff he's not supposed to talk about.
We can't let them know that babies are dying. We just can't let them know that. Can't let them know the babies are dying.
Yeah, and the funny part is we mentioned, okay, well, wow, that's like 25 more kids than died from COVID, and it's like, wow, yeah, that's an undercount too. we're being conservative, and I noticed that number, was that from 2023 onward, July 2023 onward?
Yeah, since July 2023.
So I mean, they don't even count the children before that. So I mean, those numbers could be a lot higher. So it's a pretty conservative thing to say. And obviously the risk profile, it's just so unbelievably outrageous given the fact that no kids of that age are dying of COVID-19, it's just
Right.
the calculation is, it's not even worth considering the risk at this point. I mean,
Not
they
just
should be
that
gone.
age,
It should not be a part.
under the age of 18.
It's ludicrous that we're even having the conversation, honestly. It's crazy. But yet, we got whistleblowers out there saying, it's really bad that they're noticing this stuff because, we really think they're under, what is the threat of COVID to those in the population age range? Virtually nothing. It's virtually minuscule threat. So if there's any threat whatsoever, what am I supposed to understand implicitly in the story? That if there's any threat whatsoever, then the vaccines are legitimate and we shouldn't be, assessing their actual risk to people. Is that what I'm to understand? Now, that sounds idiotic, but that is the type of reasoning that the medical community has used for a long time, and especially since the virus. So
Yeah, the takeaway I think in all of this, the takeaways are just briefly and succinctly, we can never forget what they did. We can never forget what they did.
Yeah.
Because we need to hold them accountable. We can't let them just get away with it. But the other reasons why we can't forget what they did are, one, so that we don't get duped again. And we, in the broad sense, that we don't find ourselves in a position with the next global pandemic or the next public health climate crisis or whatever the play is, that we don't get duped again, so we can see their play when they bring it. We go, oh, well, I know, I've seen this before. I know what you're doing here. So we don't get duped. We don't get tricked. And then hopefully we can help other people as well to be more aware the next time it happens, because it is going to happen again. There is going to be some sort of play for more tyranny, and we need to understand their playbook, how they operate. We can't be caught off guard, and we need to be even more bold in our opposition, and we need to be even quicker to get people on the right side of it. And that's the lesson learned.
Well, Andrew,
as far as I think one of the big lessons we need to learn in all of this.
Well, and the reason this is on continuing to be relevant is because, even if you look at these stories, if you look at what we've talked about, the stories that are being put forward in the mainstream media from the Yahoos and the Toronto Sun and stuff like that, they're perpetuating this narrative, right? Yahoo saying, oh, it's a good thing that we're having all these new vaccine trials and models and everything because, oh, these vaccines saved millions of lives, and should we have another pandemic, oh, we'll need to use this technology. We'll need to go back to right where it's not a reflection of, oh, hey, this COVID thing was an absolute utter failure. It was a fiasco at every level. We could never do this again. Obviously, we're not insane people. We wouldn't want to do this. No, it's oh, it was such a success. It could be even more a success if we just do even more than we did last time. And that's the way they're rationalizing this. And the Toronto Sun articles perfectly. So this is what most people are imbibing. Right? Millions of lives were saved by the vaccines. Oh, thank God we have bold scientists out there doing their modeling and trying to develop these vaccines so we can save millions of lives. The actual real stats of what happened are the exact opposite. These are deadly. These have been terrible. They're no good, very bad. And then what do we see in the Toronto Sun article? Well, the fact that anybody would even look into this, that would even try and do due diligence, that would try and say, well, were these effective? Were these safe? If we're going to be requiring this to be a part of the vaccine schedule, is there, does the risk reward benefit actually make sense? And it's oh, obviously not. This isn't even close, but it's what normal people are hearing is the exact opposite of the truth, and they're still going. despite being brazen in their lies, despite getting called out, despite everything that's happened over the last long while, they're still rolling out the lies. They're still rolling out their narrative. There's been absolute doubling down, tripling down.
They can't be honest about it, because
Yes.
if they are honest about it, then people will go, oh, well, then next time I'm not going to believe you. But they can't have that. They need people to still, if they keep saying, no, it is true, I swear it. That way, the next time when they play their game, they play their hand, people will go, well, I mean, you've been honest and forthright, caring for us. But if they admit, oh, we lied about the whole thing, then the next time when they make their play, people will go, well, why should we believe you this time? And they don't. That's not the response they want from people.
Mm-hmm. And they're also, again, operational preparation of the environment. These stories tend to get out there in the news when flu season, winter, fall. This is the way they churn it up, because you never know when you're going to have to go in full panic, emergency, death, disease mode and reinstitute these lockdowns and draconian measures again. And that's why we have to talk about it. As much as I think we all want to move on, as much as these stories are little interest to me anymore, because we've covered them, we've studied them, we've been honest, we've talked. We're not going to be duped, but it just, the reason we have to continue to talk about them is because they're continually relevant. Because this is still a psy-op that is being played, it's being run, and if we're not aware of it, we're going to succumb to some horrible effects again. So, Andrew,
and if we move on, we won't get to play the song. Play the song. If we move on, we won't get to play the song again. Let's play the song. Let's close off. I like this.
And could you live with yourself if you didn't see Andrew and I do some disco dancing to this? Man, that's good. That's good stuff.
Great.
Freedom Christ has set you free.
Matt,
Stand
I
firm.
had a sudden case of climate change.
I was playing video games and climate change got me.
Oh no, the 1 degree Celsius has caused my heart to blow up.
Finally, not 7 months of winter in Manitoba. I'm dead. Okay, anyways, Galatians 5:1. God bless you all.
Liberty Dispatch has been brought to you by SDG Media. If you want to stay in touch with us on all things Liberty Dispatch, join our email list, or support the show, head over to ldcanada.substack.com.